I have a little long history with Devin. It's been boiling up for a minute, and I think that people want to see that. So I'll be looking forward to it.
Back in the ring, back on DAZN, new trainer, new weight class, new home here in Dallas, Texas. How are you feeling about everything?
I'm feeling great. It's been a great change for me. I definitely feel more focused, more committed to the sport, more dedicated. It feels like just like the thing I needed.
Why did you need it?
I think the year and a half layoffs and just all the time that I would take outside the sport really didn't help my focus in boxing, and I kind of lost like that supreme focus you need in boxing, and that dedication and that commitment to the sport. And this right here really showed me what it's like to go 100% again in focus for boxing. So this is exactly what I needed. In Dallas, it's perfect. You keep your focus, and it's all training.
So you didn't make a subtle change. You made radical changes. You moved, picked up your life and moved to Texas, made a change with your head coach. When did you know that you needed to make such a radical change?
Well, just the environment I was in. If you're in a toxic environment, it's just not going to work out for you. So it was just in my spirit to change things all the way. And I just let God guide me, and He guided me to Dallas, Texas, and with a great trainer like Derek, and I could see my difference, my focus and my commitment, and just things that I'm like, wow, I should have been doing this a minute ago. But it is what it is. Sometimes you need to lose, and sometimes you need to hit rock bottom to realize the changes you need to make. And I think that's what's gonna make me great and show people who I am, is just how I bounce back. It's not easy to lose, but great champions come back.
Toxic is a powerful word you use there. Why was it a toxic environment for you?
It was toxic because LA, people want to be around famous people. There's a lot of distractions. Even the gym I was at, it's kind of a celebrity gym in a way, and things weren't locked in like a training camp. And in hindsight, looking back, it was like, wow, like being here and just being in just that full focus mode, there's a huge difference. My dedication just wasn't there. It wasn't there, and when you take those long layoffs, you don't realize it because you think, you're just going with emotions. Like, okay, like I'll get ready for a fight, but it's not just a fight. It's everything. You need to put everything into boxing. You can't just, think you're gonna pick up some gloves and perform well. It don't work like that. You need to grind.
So what's changed over the last 8 months that you've been mostly here in Texas?
Just my commitment and my dedication and my focus towards the sport in itself, and being committed to Derek's training and what he wants me to do, and giving my whole effort into boxing like I was in 2020 and the years that I was thriving, before all the long layoffs. So I feel like that focus is back. A focus I haven't felt for a while. And I'm like, okay, this feels nice. Like finally, like I know what I'm doing in the ring again, thank God. You know what I mean? It feels like that, especially when you put everything into it. I've always had the talent, but when you don't have the focus, it doesn't really matter.
You spent years pushing for and calling for that Gervonta Davis fight. I know it's not a simple question to answer, but what went wrong for you in that fight?
I think a ton of things went wrong for me in that fight. I think the first one was the layoff of a year and some change. I really wanted to fight him in October after Fortuna, when I felt like my momentum was there. A lot of things killed that for me. And then my eagerness to fight him so bad messed me up, because then I didn't take the tune-up with Marcito. I didn't want to ruin the chances to fight him. And all those stipulations, I don't want to go back to that. Like I said, I signed it, so it doesn't matter. But those really do have effect on you. I thought I could get around it, but no, fighting in that state is not fun. You don't have the energy, and you can't do what you want to do. So a lot of things went wrong, but again, we're now focused on just becoming the champion. That big fight was great. It did really well, but now I want to become a champion, establish myself as a champion at 140, and build from there, and hopefully run that back because I know I'm capable of beating them in different circumstances.
You've said that a lot, becoming a champion.
Yeah.
You've emphasized that a lot over the last couple of months. That's not something I heard you emphasize before.
Yeah.
Before it was you want big fights, but maybe for different reasons.
Yeah.
What has changed that makes you want that championship now so bad?
Well, I just had a plan in my head since I was coming into the professional rankings. I wanted everybody to know my name at first. I wanted people to see my talent, see what I could do, build the big fights, and have spectacular events. And now, I've been boxing since I was 7 years old. I feel like I deserve to give myself a chance to become a champion. I've always, I was the best in the amateurs. I won a lot of national titles, and I feel like I'm seeking and I'm longing for a championship title now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to be able to see me like, okay, he's not only a superstar, but he's also a champion. Mm-hmm. He also, can be the best. Like, okay, he's not just a kid that knows how to market himself. He's actually a person that took the sport serious and became a champion and did it all, really. So I want to show people I could do it all. Like, if you want me to go full focus mode, you're about to see something different.
In the days after your first loss, and you hadn't lost since the amateur days, so it would have been a long time since you felt defeat. What did that feel like? I mean, how did you handle that?
It's disappointing because I didn't feel anything. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel not one moment of sadness. And people say it's because of the money, but it wasn't because of the money. It was because that I stopped caring about just winning in general. Like, my competition edge was just not there. It was like, okay, I did the big fight, great. I don't know what was missing. It was just me kind of fed up with all the shit I had to go through, and just me not giving like a rat's ass about anything anymore. Because me having to cut that weight, it was actually really hard for me. And me not being able to gain the weight, like, I was already pissed off, and I was mad because nobody seemed to actually like really take that serious, like, part of my team. Like, nah, this is hurting me to make this weight. They were just watching me like, you got it. Like, I didn't have it, So when I lost, it was just like, I don't give a shit. Like, I came in with a separated rib and all this stuff, and I was just like, I don't care. But looking at it, it's like, bro, why didn't I care? That's crazy. Like, I should care. And then a little later on, like a month later, it was like, oh shit, like, I did lose. Like, that happened, and it kind of hit me, and I was like, I'm never gonna lose again. I don't want to lose again. Like, I'm gonna erase the things I was doing. I was not being a professional. I wasn't being a professional. But like I said, sometimes you gotta lose to realize I gotta make a change here. Like, it's not fun and games. Like, this is a real sport. You could get hurt.
You said there you need to sharpen that edge, sharpen that competitive edge. How has Derek influenced that?
Just always, man, speaking truth to me and being like type of a mentor and really talking to me like, okay, Ryan, like, remember, you earned this. Like, you're gonna earn this every time you're gonna get in the ring. You're there because you earned it. And just speaking things like that to me, and like, he's always just giving me, a life advice and just boxing advice. And I'm like, okay. He's like always correcting me on my technique and things that I need to work on. So, Derek is just a really great trainer. He's been there for me.
When you chose Derek James, on one hand, it made a lot of sense. He's an incredible trainer. He's had a lot of success, a lot of high-profile guys. One of the things I thought, though, was that one of the reasons you left Eddie Reynoso was because you wanted more hands-on attention. You wanted to be the guy, in a way, to whatever trainer you were working with. Derek's got a lot of guys, a lot of high-level guys. You'd be one of those guys. Why was it different? Why is it different in this situation as opposed to what you didn't like in the Canelo camp?
Well, Derek has he scheduled himself. He's the type of dude that he plans and schedules, so he gives his guys the full time. Derek's training me every single time, every day, at the exact same time, from a certain time to when we end. So he has his stuff together. He's organized. So it's not really, I haven't experienced any like, oh, I got to train this guy first or whatnot. And looking back on it, I don't know if I left Eddie because of I gotta be only one training. It wasn't really like, it wasn't for that reason. It was other things, and now I feel like we got a better relationship too. I want to make that clear. Like me and Eddie and Canelo, we're cool. Everything's good. I was just, again, mad about some certain thing happened in the gym. That was it. But now it's good. Derek has everything organized, ready to train at this certain time, and boom, it's clear. It's done.
Did you give any thought at any point to going back to Eddie? Then the prodigal son returns to the gym.
Yeah, no, there was discussions. There was discussions of me going back with Eddie, but just things didn't work out, and I felt like Derek was the better fit for me on certain things. But again, like Eddie, it was a thought. He talked about the fight, even about Tank and what could have been done. So we, like I said, we're on good terms, and things are still good with us.
What's it like to have so many guys that are high level in that gym? Is that a source of motivation? Does that push you even further than you've been pushed before? Having guys like Errol Spence Jr., Jermell Charlo, Anthony Joshua, Frank Martin in that gym on a regular basis?
I think it's just fun seeing them there, to be honest. Like, it's cool. It's like, oh, shit, you're here. But I think all that comes within yourself. You could have a million people there. You could have Canelo there. You have the world, Cristiano Ronaldo there. It don't matter. If it's not in you to want to push, if you can't push without them being there, you ain't going to push them when they're there. So for me, it's cool. I mean, it's great to see guys that are, dedicated. But for me, it's all within me. If I'm not there, I'm not there.
Do you consider this your life now? Because, you've been doing it for about 6 months. Derek James ain't moving to LA. Like, could you see yourself doing it for 6 years? Do you see this as your life?
I see myself giving everything I have to boxing for as long as I can. And then hitting them with the deuces. But I'm committed to like taking this as far as I can, and becoming a champion of how many times that's gonna be, and having great fights with great fighters, and seeing where that's gonna go. But I don't know how long that's gonna last. But I'm here to do it, and I'm not gonna let my life waste without reaching my full potential. I'm still young, and I could do it. So.
Do you think about the end, though? It sounds like it crosses your mind about how long you want to do it and whether you want to do other things.
As of right now, no. I'll be like, damn, bro, I keep wanting to go through these hard-ass training camps. Sometimes, of course, it's hard. It's not easy to wake up and do the same thing every day and grind hard and avoid burning out and then having to, like, get back on the horse and go again. Like, the training camp's the hard part. The fights is fun, but again, I know this is part of the game, and I'm committed. And I see myself doing this for as long as I can, and doing great things in the sport, and then riding off in the sunset, whatever I'm gonna do. I have no clue.
You obviously never want to take a loss, but as you look back at it now, do you feel like you're a better fighter because of at least the experience of going through what you went through with Gervonta? Oh
yeah, definitely. Now, no media day is going to be able to compare to how big that was, and the electricity. And so now I'm going to be more, experienced if I have a huge fight like that again, which I will. And I gained a lot of experience from it, and I don't even care about how I lost, to be honest. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come back. You know what I mean? And I think this is showing a great example to other fighters. Like, I lost, but watch what I do now. And they're going to see how successful I'm going to be even off a loss, and it's going to change the whole dynamic of boxing. And I think it did. I think me even getting in there and risking it that early in my career, I think that did inspire other people to finally, buckle up and fight. I think I did a good thing for the sport. And I think, as time goes on, they're going to be like, yeah, that was the moment changed. That was like, that put a stake in what it was before. And I think I'm gonna continue to do that. I think I'm gonna keep innovating in the sport, and they're gonna be following my lead, and I can see it, I was doing social media, now every boxer wants to do it. And then, now I'm gonna show them the blueprint on how to produce big fights. I think I'm gonna be leading the way for a while.
So Oscar Duarte, I told you this before, I was surprised when you picked him. Not to make it out like he's Muhammad Ali, but I see a lot of guys coming off a challenging loss, taking much softer touches. This to me is not a soft touch. You could have taken on anybody you wanted. Why did you pick Oscar Duarte?
It was between two guys. I trust my coach's his opinion on who I should fight, so I sent him the guys that I could potentially fight, and he wanted Oscar Duarte. So that was basically what it was. Oscar Duarte, of course, he's a heavy puncher, but if you've been in boxing a long time, you should know how to fight guys that hit hard. There's gonna be guys that hit hard, there's gonna be guys that are fast, slow, come forward, back up. I can't be, what I'm gonna do? I want a world title, but I can't beat, Oscar Duarte, no disrespect. But if I want to do that, like, let's run it, I think that the layoff wasn't that long from Tank, so I still feel right there. I'm not discouraged from the loss, so it's not going to affect me. It's going to be a tough fight. Don't get me wrong, I got to be extra cautious, but I think I know I'm ready. Yeah.
A lot of people would look at the weight and say, I weighed 136 last time, 140. What's the big deal? What is the big deal? What's the difference with you between 136 and 140?
I just think that people that say that, but just not educated on the sport. Those last pounds can kill you literally because you're already killing yourself to get there. So those extra pounds are just like, it's just a relief for your body. And on top of it, you could have fight with 12-ounce gloves or 8-ounce gloves. Oh, it's only 4 ounces. Now you tell a fighter what's the difference. It's just, if you know, you know. I don't want to explain it. Like, if you know, you know. If you're a wrestler and you cut the weight before, you overlate. And then on top of it, if you're not able to rehydrate the way you want, that's even worse. Like, that's like a huge disadvantage. Like, I don't care what nobody says. Like, that's crazy. Yeah.
You're still weeks away from the fight, but does the training feel different not having to have 135 as the target?
Yes, it's a relief. Like, I could focus on my skills. I'm not even tripping about my weight. Like, I'm cool. It's been a huge relief, and I felt like I was fighting good at 140. Like, Fortuna, like, I felt like my mind was there. I was sharp. I could take the punches. I mean, I guess Fortuna wasn't like a true 140, but I felt better, regardless of whoever the opponent was. I always felt better. Like, that weight class, I was like sharper, and I felt more, conscious. So I think you're gonna see a great performance from me.
Does this feel like a new chapter for you?
Yeah. Like, if it was like a book, it was like chapter this. Yeah.
You've got a few chapters already. And
yeah, it was like a fun chapter in the beginning, and then now we're in a new one. I think that you're gonna see another rise of mine. Just another great trajectory. Like, damn, Ryan's back. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be a fun ride. Spectacular wins. It's gonna have another hurrah. You know what I mean? Boom, we're gonna build it up again. I feel it. I know it.
December is the start of a massive month of fights on DAZN, which includes Bam Rodriguez, Sonny Edwards, Jake Paul is going to be back on DAZN, and your good friend Devin Haney, you've got a long history with.
Yeah.
You want titles, you said.
Yes.
The winner of Devin Haney Regis Prograis will have a title. How closely are you watching that fight when it comes to a future opponent for yourself?
I'm gonna be watching that real close. Devin Haney's been on the list of future opponents for a while. He's been doing really good. Regis also a great fighter, so I'll be looking at it. I want the world titles, so I have a little long history with Devin. It's been boiling up for a minute, and I think that people want to see that. So I'll be looking forward to it.
How many times in the amateurs?
We fought 6 times.
6 times.
Yeah.
How'd that
3
go?
and 3.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
3 and 3. But when I fought him, I cracked him. When he fought me, points, little points. I was banging on him. I was hurting him.
Now, like, I remember when he got in the ring after you beat Fonseca in Anaheim. And
that was fun.
It was fun. It just didn't feel like the right time for that fight then.
No.
You get through December, now starting to feel pretty right with you guys.
It is. I think, realistically, I think that I'm gonna have some great performances, and maybe in 2 fights, 3 fights. I think that we're gonna run a big one. I think I need to do my part on exploding in the 140 division. So I got some work to do. He's been doing his thing, but I'm gonna have those performances again and do what I do, and then we can run it You know, and for a big one, you know, I got to be smart too. I got to be, you know, realistic. You know, I'm not gonna just go to Duarte right to Devin. It doesn't make sense. You know, I think I need to establish myself. Like, you know, this guy's for real at 140. Like, be careful. You know, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Ryan, welcome back.
Thank you. You're the best, sir.